Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy Extreme Life Darius, and we about to get into the Wheelie breakdown. You know, one of the things that you want to do is warm up with the bike. You know, when you first get on the bike needs to warm up, but also your body needs to get acclimated. You need to warm up as well. So just because you can, I could hop on the bike and just start ripping wheelies. I could do that, but that's not what someone that really knows what they're doing would do. You know what I mean? And for this video, I'm gonna be wheeling in the streets because you don't need help. Like, you don't need me to show you how to wheelie in an empty parking lot. Alright? We on sport bikes. A lot of guys ride in the streets, and they're gonna be wheeling in the street. Okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, finding an exclusive private lot where you can practice is the best, because it could just be you on the bike, but sometimes you end up in a situation like this, so you need to know what to do. All right, now I'm always looking behind me, looking in front of me, and like, I don't linger too much. When I look, I don't look slow. I look quick. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? Imagine if you in a boxing ring right now, you're fighting. Everything got to be quick. Block, block, duck. You know what I mean? Anticipate, anticipate, anticipate. You know what I mean? I just look back, but I'm going to look back again, because literally there'll be instances where there's not a car, and in a split second there's a car. You know what I mean? But before I do wheelies, I fill out the bike, make sure she responding right. Woo, she feeling good today. A lot of guys neglect the rear brake. I'm feeling that rear brake, pumping it. You know what I mean? Seeing how she feels. She feels a little bit softer today, not gonna lie. I always lock up that rear wheel just to make sure I have full braking power. Alright, remember this. Before every single wheelie, I get to a speed where I can kind of lock up that rear wheel just to make sure I have full braking power. I do that every time. I'm gonna lock it up. Keep the handlebars straight so you don't fishtail. But yeah, you want to make sure you have 100% braking. 100%, because that's what's going to save you when you do a wheelie. Alright? Now, we about to start popping that clutch. I'm breaking it down. This is a tutorial, so you don't got to take this much time with everything, but I'm just explaining everything that I do. Alright? So we're going to pop the clutch and give it some gas, but I'm not really looking for lift. I'm just want to feel feedback. I want to get my tires, my tires are going to spin a little bit, and it's going to help warm them up and get them grippy. Alright? That first clutch up of the day is always going to, normally the tires will spin, it won't hook. So this is going to give me feedback on the bike. It's going to help me get adjusted and acclimated to riding a motorcycle, but just make the bike bark. All right, just tease it. Yeah. You hear a monster coming down the street. Woo. Yeah. All right. That should be good. Just do that a couple of times. You know, I'm building up the feeling. All right, now, you know, your timing got to be crisp. One finger, remember, always got that one finger. Guys have a habit of doing two fingers, three fingers, and they forget. They don't even think about it. All right, and just a little blip on the throttle. All right. That's it. I ain't looking for no lift, you know. But if I laid into the gas, that bike will come up, you know. Same exact motion, I just held it. All right. This is how I warm up. This is how I warm up my wheelies every time. I don't come out here and just start wheeling. I get on the bike, I warm up, you know what I'm saying? I get in the groove, you know? Play with that clutch a little bit, get my tires warmed up. This is not a race. You know what I mean? We're not trying too hard. Just filling the bike out. Filling the bike out. Look, man, you should be looking like you having the most fun. Ain't nobody having more fun than me. I'm in my zone, all right? Now, after you get through the stage, you know, at this point, bro, you definitely ready to, you know, start popping some wheelies. But I never go straight to like 12 o'clock, you know what I mean? Like the first one, just like chase it out. Okay. Yo. Feeling that rear brake. You want to obsess over that rear brake? All right, now we about to go. And that is how I get started with my rides. All right. Check behind me, see if anybody behind me. Nope. All right. Rear brakes. You know, start dabbing that rear brake, making sure it's there. Because listen, your rear brake can stop working. Your rear brake can work for one wheelie, and then it just goes flat. You lose all braking power, and then that second wheelie, it's like, whoa, what happened to my brake? Yes, brakes go out. All right, brakes can go out. Especially like it can go out because of heat if you've been riding for a long time, or it can just go out because something broke. You know, the banjo bolt came loose, fluid start leaking out. You hit the pedal, it goes straight all the way down, and it has no pressure. Gotta always make sure. Look, I never loop a wheelie because I always do a brake check right before I wheelie. Every single wheelie, not just a warm-up wheelie. Every single wheelie, I do a brake check, wheelie. Look, I do a brake check, wheelie. Every single wheelie. It's a habit. You know how many times it saved me? You know, your brakes don't go out all the time, right? But there's been times when the brakes went out. You know, especially I got on like a friend's bike, wasn't my personal bike. And his brakes went out. Cause I don't know his bike, you know what I'm saying? But I had that habit. I did a wheelie. The brakes were working perfectly fine. I turned around, did another wheelie. The brakes were completely gone. But I caught it. I caught it because I did a brake check before I popped the wheelie. No brakes. So that has helped me never loop my bike in the, you know, when it comes to wheeling. And that is how you get into the groove.